afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting, amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Your one and only sanctioned source of comedies to entertainment, off here to 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press the bell button if you do subscribe. In the north, though, it is Zodiak fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 15th Panzergrenadier Division West in the south, it is PFC fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 1st Armoured Division tasked with breaking through the lines here under the command of Zodiak. And we've got Jaeger Infantry, we got Blitzkrieg, we got Mechanized Assault with Triple Infantry versus Heavy Cavalry, Mechanized Company, and Airborne with Triple Infantry as well there for PFC. Grenadier MD42 started there for Zodiac versus Double Rifleman there for PFC and Democracy. Sorry about that, I need to adjust the seat a bit. Second round score there almost done for PFC. We got Pioneer setting towards the centre, sandbagging and wiring off the carve point to make it a bit easier to defend and harder to hold for PFC. MD42 moving eastwards, they're going to go for the fuel point there. By the east, Pioneer setting out there, backed up by the Grenadier, and we got Racing Spring for the western victory point. Rifleman heading eastwards there. So far, sort of standard stuff there from both sides. Pioneers wiring off the old tractor there. Grenadiers going for the centre victory point. MD42 is going to the eastern fuel point. You kind of figure that the MD42 would be here, the Pioneers maybe on the eastern side, but that's that. I imagine Zodiak is going to go for Grenadier squad more, or he might be planning a sniper here versus PFC to that way try and bleed out his Rifleman. Pioneers rushing for the house. We've got Rifleman moving up this wall there. He will likely have to move the machine gun up into the house there, or he may just decide he doesn't want to do that, I suppose. Centre victory point seized for the German army. Third rifle going away with PFC. Zodiac there is definitely going to go for the sniper here, the Scharfschütze. Character up here by the western point, also known as the Czech Hedgehog, amongst other things. They had a lot of names for the different types of tank traps. Rifleman falling back, we got Pioneer, the sniper there, going out for Zodiac and the 15th Panzergrenadier. Rifleman up here, coming on the front of the rifle. Grenadiers here, MD42 probably could pop in here, but I think Zodiac would all the benefit from using the machine in action versus PFC. That would put pressure on him. Sniper halfway down there for Zodiac. Rifleman moving up. MD42 might be rushing here for the house. West side there is largely American, with no intent so far there by Zodiac being displayed towards actually seizing it. And there we go. PFC making a big push here with lots of riflemen. Zodiac's falls a bit scattered again because went for the sniper. He does lack a bit more field presence. So right now, it's probably PFC's best shot to really break through here against Zodiac in the early game. Once the sniper sort of gets him, it begins bleeding out, and more forces arrive afterwards. PFC might find less traction, but there you go. Sniper became one rifleman there already. Route squad, they hold it. Pioneers briefly consider rushing in there to finish them off, decided against it. Rifleman losing out to the Grenadiers in heavy cover. Other squad moving up here. Sniper quickly retreating to get to safe distance. More Grenadiers in the way. And PFC, I imagine, is taking up the platoon command post there with the lieutenant, since he obviously wants the M20 to try and counter the sniper in this case, since the M20 is a reasonably solid sniper counter. Cover for their hit, but he also needs a center victory point, so not quite as effective. Grenadier squad routed. With another one on the way there. Sniper murdering. He got 2 kills now to his name. Down here, Rifleman pinned down, but MD42 sadly not quite able to get into cover fast enough, and the casualties will slowly begin to mount due to that. More barbed wire up here from Zodiac. He's clearly looking to deny PFC any potential foothold when he ever tries to attack into Zodiac's territories there. You got an ambulance away there for PFC, as his men are, well, not really need him an ambulance, at least the ones that are surviving, because the sniper tends to do a very clean job in that department. Seizing the point here right next to Zodiac's base, a bit of a cheeky move there by PFC, but certainly not bad. Seizing points here again. Zodiac having routed PFC's first wave there is slimming up to gain territory. He needs to take up faster. Of course, he may want to go for more infantry as well. There's a few possibilities there for Zodiac, but he definitely should not dither about for too long with his resources. Ambulance out there to reinforce and heal PFC. Well, primarily heal. If he moves it further out of the base, he can reinforce as well. Pioneers, Racing versus Grenadiers. Getting some slow kills in there. Still no attack up. Is he planning double snipers here? I mean, that'd be a bit nutty, but I suppose it's a strategy. It's just not necessarily the one I'd advise, but it's a strategy. But so far, it seems like Zodiac might just be suffering from indecision, since he's actually not going for the sniper. He's not attacking. He's just floating manpower fuel here, which in particular, like the first few minutes of the game, is usually one of the most critical moments where you cannot really afford yourself to really just dither about with a lack of intent there. So I feel like Zodiac needs to slightly sharpen up. There we got Raisins away there for PFC. Grenadier squad falling back here due to the sheer presence of the infantry, the fact he couldn't get into heavy cover fast enough, I suppose. Sniping up, you're going to take sort of shots from there. Still nothing happening there for Zodiak. We got Telemines down there. That's a good move there. He's likely anticipating vehicles, and the M20 here is a counter to the snipers, so Telemines are a very good investment there for Zodiak. Though the position here, I'm not entirely sure that's going to catch any vehicles right away, but it might catch one down the road. Grenadiers on the way there for Zodiak. Looks like he might have sort of realised he forgot about something. And we got Mechanized Assault, an interesting pick there by Zodiak. Of course, that might be why he'd been saving up the resources. Actually, he wanted to save up for the Mechanized Assault group and rushing that one out here against PFC fast. An interesting move there, not necessarily bad. Of course, could leave himself slightly vulnerable to fast light vehicles from PFC. But on the other hand, right now, because PFC has no snares or anything, the Mechanized Assault group here from Zodiak and the 15th Panzer Division is going to be particularly effective. So that's a sort of interesting strategic move there by Zodiak. Certainly makes a lot more sense than again why he was flowing those resources, because the intent was to just rush out this little bastard. PFC is going straight for the Stuart light tank. Less amazing with the sniper, but it's very much going to put a halt there to any Mechanized Assault group dreams here that Zodiak might be having. Right there, they're just charging past the retreating infantry, hosing them down there with the assault rifles blazing from the back of it. Also going to the basic, and the ambulance in theory. Certainly has a good chance of getting some wipes here though. Almost getting wiped in one rifle squad. That's going to be pretty nice there for Zodiak. Pretty bad for PFC though. Pretty bad. And does he get the wipe? No, man reinforces just in time. Then again, the second one. Moves away. Decides not to stick around. He feels taking too much damage inside the base already. Close one there though. In fact, he even almost got the ambulance. Really close there. Pops out here to, in case the half-track blows up, to get suppressed and attacked by the machine gun bunkers outside of the base there. A build rate there by Zodiak, and repeatedly had several cases of almost, but not quite. That's got to feel a bit better there for Zodiak. A bit better. Like he was just so close to taking out, several rifle squads and the ambulance. But sadly, in the art of war, almost isn't, the thing you really want. You want them properly dead, not almost dead. And it was 250 after coming out of the Panzer Corps, gained some nice experience and some kills to the name, but again, no squad wipes. Ground back the fuel point here, good harassment there from PFC. Fixing up the ambulance as well. And of course, the Steward out, the Zodiac's opportunity to sort of repeat this little trick is going to be very much non-happening. Going for Panther Tricks, very good. He still needs to take up. I mean, he obviously can't stall for the Tiger tank like that, so he has to take up at some point anyways. And the Stugi, I would not advise going for. Well, turns out that Telemine paid off beautifully there for Zodiak. That was, great work. I actually wouldn't have figured that one actually would go off so fast, but turns out Zodiak surprised me there. And probably PFC. Panzer there ready to move ahead with the sniper backing up there. Grenadier squad almost done. Medic bunker up as well there for Zodiak. Very good. Puts him at 4 infantry squad, which is going to be a bit hard there for PFC to deal with. And of course, finally getting a tech going is also very good. Return there out in the open. Easy pickings here for the Germans for the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Panzer Grenadiers there slowly approaching Veteran 2. Fixing up the 250 half-track. Fighting around the fuel point, going to need to retreat up close with the rifle and they stand no chance. I mean, the patch really make no big change there. Like, no matter what, they're going to be up close, will lose to riflemen. They just lose a bit harder now, but generally, one-on-one up close, what they're going to do is out of there fast. PFC now going for the M20. An interesting move here. Normally, he wouldn't go for an M20 like that, but he's probably hoping to catch Zodiak off guard by this, because, again, you don't do that normally, and by that way, so you just rush him down. Grenadier squad are wiped out here. Bit of a blow there for Zodiak. Again, no extended. Should have been more cautious. At least had an exit plan there in mind. Well, the 250 half-track is good to go. We'll have to see what he does with it. He could try and just take out fast. They can't do much with it, so I'd like to make a nice company. Maybe with some extra stuff that would be good. We got more Grenadiers. I mean, at this point, I honestly feel like maybe another Panzer Grenadier squad would be a good investment here for Zodiak. Or another MG42 instead. I feel like some players tend not to put much stock in double MD42s at times, but used correctly, they can be quite tiresome for your opponent to deal with. In particular, if you suddenly go for the second one out of nowhere, the strategy already sort of locked in, and suddenly hit with another machine gun, that can frustrate some players. Panthers and the M20 needs to get the Grenadiers out there. Other squad moving in though. There we go. And Not enough munitions for the Panzer Shreks, otherwise that could have been a possible option there to sort of counter the M20 and other vehicles that PFC might be going for. PFC, the Bio still hasn't gone for Docks, and of course at this point he knows Zodiac has gone for Mechanized Assault. I mean, you don't get Mechanized Assault groups anywhere else like that, not like just out of the blue. Bit of skirmishing here. I'm trying to on the move again. He might be a bit more cautious this time around, of course, because he might be worried, you know, I said to be cautious too many times there, but he might be a tad worried about telemines. Pencil them in forwards. Halfway towards 32 there. Lieutenant needs to be careful. 250 half-tick being used here as a, shall we say, improvised bunker there by Zodiac. Though not much use there against the M20 utility car. You also need to be more careful with the sniper and keep some grenadiers close to it at all times to screen it against the M20, because right now, I mean, PFC could just basically sort of beeline the sniper, then take it out with the M20 if he's not careful. In particular, right here, he should probably prioritise the sniper over the 250 half-tack. But there you go, man's probably still pretty risky there for Zodiac with that sniper. Pretty risky. As per PFC, the guy going on there, he might hopefully try and take up soon, for his own sake though. But again, he's still having some success here with the surprise M20 utility car, because again, most players just don't go for an M20 utility car after they lost a Stuart light tank. .50 car up there for PFC to help deal with Zodiac's infantry. Very good investment. Can also help deal with the 250 half-track, which makes it an even better investment there for PFC. Nothing further is going on for Zodiac, but I'd certainly recommend a faster Pomo Corp. At this point, rush out on Panther 4 and Osman here versus PFC and try and hit it back hard. In particular, with the more sort of good control he's got now, the best option right now for Zodiac would just be pushing for Panzers and not pushing for Stuhies, which even requires him to have tech the battle phase there. So, I mean, there's not really much of an excuse for Zodiac, I think, not to take up at this point and push for, you know, the Panzerkampfwagens. 20 there, slowly approaching red T2. Few telemines here, and I think will still be a good investment here for Zodiac versus PFC. Like to make a nice company, and then he takes up, so he's probably expecting going for the Pack 4 here, simply because he might be worried that PFC is going to rationally just wants something to have to deal with the M20, but there might also be other concerns here that's sort of going through Zodiac, set for him to go for that right now. Not a bad idea though, considering again he's been really slow to take up, so like he can't rush out, say a Stug in response to any sort of sudden armoured surprises by PFC. Bomb grenade there almost lands the hit, but ultimately falls a bit short. And the West TMB4 coming up on his own, pretty risky there. And there you go, Panzerabwehrkanone 40 on the way for Zodiac and the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, which had been shifted from Italy to the Western Front by late 1944. Take part in Unternehmen Herbstnebel. Sniper there getting blasted a bit of the M20 utility car. We got 2 kills. Rushing ahead there, and there you go, pop smoke. As soon as he sees the gun, to avoid getting panzerfausted. Got this reaction there, good reflex for PFC. Still no doctrine from PFC, and at this point it's starting to look like heavy cavalry with a Pershing here versus Zodiac. Very much starting to look like that. We got troops here reinforcing. Panzerabwehrkanone 40 there out for Zodiac. Sandbags by the center, 250 after their halfway to veteran 2. I mean, in theory, it's stuff the Panther has decided, you know, catch this 50 cal off from an awkward angle. He could take out the 50 cal, maybe and steal it and turn against PFC, though it would be risky, and of course he may just fail again using the 250 half-check like, you know, an improvised machine gun bunker at this point, though. I don't feel like that's just a bit tame. Oh wait, Zodiac should be getting that Support Corps Schnell. The faster he can push out tanks versus PFC, the better. And usually that is a crucial element in any Wehrmacht strategy. In particular versus the Americans, you just want medium armor out Schnell. In fact, PFC now is likely to get tech faster here. He's got the battalion command post being activated here with the major on the way. Fuel-wise, though, he's not quite as strong there, though he's not far off as he's quickly catching up there to Zodiac. But it's still going to take him time to get up any tanks from there. Though again, compared to Zodiac, we just built the support more quick, but probably the Panther fought fast after that. So far, the big assault here across the front by PFC. Could maybe launch some flanking assault here, catch the sniper off guard. Maybe the M20 rushing in there could do the trick. And these there go, Panzer's part of the counter-attack. We've got the M20 moving up to basically block that move. Good response there by PFC, though I would also say good counter-attack there by Zodiac. Legendary 2 Panzer Grenadier is definitely an issue for anyone caught in their line of fire. Now the 5th Cavalry on the way there for PFC to help further contain Zodiac's infantry and light vehicle antics. Ergo Major Arch, so Zodiac should now be aware that PFC's got the tech and that he needs to, get out some tanks of his own. The silly sod. There we go, eventually 2 half-track. Leichter Schützen Panzerwagen, which would later into the war, I think roughly around late 1944-45, actually be switched out with the 250 on the half-track and the armoured reconnaissance units. And instead the 250 half-track chassis itself would actually be used towards armoured cars, which the Germans figured did much better off-road than to the 2, which is 4 wheels, which isn't very good with versus the half-track there. It's a little fun fact there. Instead the armoured pistol rounds nicely timed there by Zodiac plus artillery. We got the M2 up there. Oh! Right here, though, Zodiac made a mistake. He exposed the sniper there to a lethal flank by the M20 utility car there. Good sighting there by PFC. Definite mistake by Zodiac, and the sniper is going to go down. Ace M20 as well. He's finally got the support call. He is finally going for the Panzer IV, but he could have had that one going at least a minute sooner. So that definitely feels a bit sloppy there by Zodiac, or at least, a bit off key. Sloppy might be a bit too harsh there, obviously, compared with everything that's going on. Pack 4 there being hosed down by the M20 with the infantry moving in there. Bit lost there for Zodiac as well. Infantry should have been nearby, but again he pretty much just denuded the entire centre of his front from any infantry, meaning both the sniper and his Pack 40, 2 critical supporting elements, were gone, while again all of his troops are far west. So that was tactically, I would say, a bit of a blunder there by Zodiac. Big one, since now his opponent, besides killing the sniper, has a Pack 40. I mean, he's got more anti-tank weapons for Zodiac's tanks to have to deal with. PFC has yet to commit to doctrine, though again, heavy cavalry is seeming very likely. In fact, he now has more or less all the requirements. He just needs manpower fuel for the Pershing, at which point Zodiac's going to be in for a bit of a rougher time and may further find himself regretting losing that Pack 40. Pack 4 pushing up the eastern side again for some isolated riflery in the centre. We've got the M20 moving towards the west, hitting up some of Zodiac's isolated elements, or at least unsupported elements versus armour. He's moving at the light machine guns, Pan 4 moving in from the east. Got the rifle squad there in full route. We got the 5th Cavalry posing a problem there for Zodiac's forces in the west. He's going to have to retreat the 250 half-track before that gets lost. Would be a right waste of resources and experience there by Zodiac. We're to toss away that 250 half-track now. So PFC could be going for Sherman now. He could also go for the 76mm Sherman. That could also be an option there for PFC. Well, again, and what is more likely, he's trying now to stall for the Pershing. And again, getting that Pack 40 and the sniper, I think, is going to make that more possible. Additionally, the bazookas there is certainly not making Zodiac going to have a more fun time trying to deal with them. We got 477 to 329. This regard, Zodiac is in lead here versus PFC. Very good. Very good. So they need to get the fuel point back. And there you go. At the 18-minute mark, PFC commits to heavy cavalry, more or less as expected. In terms of timing for the Pershing, we are roughly looking at 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes there, depending on who ultimately gets a fuel cache, whatnot. After they're going for the Major on the west, going back to the western victory point here, center hope on the machine gun there, east side there moving up. One Panzer Hub is going to cover that flank up, then hitting the eastern fuel point with another Grenadier squad. And we got more machines getting added here to Zodiac's Grenadiers against PFC's Freedom Onslaught. Pretty good engagement there for PFC. Oh, he ends up retreating due to the rifle flanking in there. Pan 4 pushed back with the anti-tank gun. Another MD-42 out there for Zodiac as he realises finally that he probably needs more machine guns up to contain some more of PFC's troops and support weapons. So, thumbs up there to Zodiac. He's going to need some armor after that to back it up, obviously. And we're certainly getting closer there to PFC getting out that Pershing. At which point, Zodiac has one Pack 40 and one Panther 4 to try and stop that American heavy tank. No mines being laid down there by PFC's M20 utility car. Troops healing reinforcing. Panther 4 rolling back for some light repairs. We got 477 versus 307. They go M20 rushing in. Should probably get that half check out of there. And the Panther these as well. Pearson's there caught in the middle of everywhere and just getting shot to bits. 40 car by Rifle Squad here on the east side and far east. We got Lieutenant going for the point. We've got an escort there, but not in car. That's Lieutenant. And with the Lieutenant equipped with BARs, that's going to be a real problem for the Grenadiers once they got close, and that's a lot of firepower the Lieutenant can lay down in a matter of moments. Zodiak by the looks, oh there we go, retreats. I was about to say he wasn't realising what's going on at all. Machine gun there getting into a lot of trouble from Americans. I'm totally moving in, need to get the Panther over there. No sign of that, the machine gun needs to retreat before it gets annihilated there by PFC's infantry. Left flank seeing some lighter action. It's all happening in the right hand side where against Zodiac's weakened flank has now been overrun there by PFC, who is now basically a minute away from the Pershing heavy tank, and Zodiac is going to have to call in Stooks to have a chance against that and hopefully handle them quite well. Getting very close to that Pershing now, very, very close.
We are losing a sector.
Zodiac definitely suffering the fuel department, and he's almost going to get half of what PFC has, which is a notable difference. Panther goes there very, very close to the A's level. Utterly called in the Grenadiers' position there by the Eastern Victory Point. Very good there by PFC. Denies Zodiac a strong point and anchor, which sort of pulled him up. There we go. M26 Pershing heavy tank out here for PFC. That's going to be a real problem for Zodiac. Again, that's got one Pack 40 and a Panther 4 to try and stop that. It's not impossible, but yeah, no, it's going to be pretty tough. Pioneers need to get out of there, but the best response is going to be either a bunch of Stoogs, more Pack 40s somehow trying to stall out for a Panther, maybe the Tiger tank, though I don't think that would be a wildly practical option at the moment. Personally, almost taking out the Panther 4, very bad there with Zodiac, but at least he managed to get out of there in something resembling one piece. There we go. Zodiac's response to the arrival of the Pershing is immediate, well, almost immediate. It is the Sturmgeschützlei Ausführung. It's only one of his better options for dealing with him. He can amass enough of them, he can lay down some firepower, which the Pershing likely will struggle with. Grabbing the eastern point here, and before too hard, opening up the major by the Eastern Victory Point. Pershing charging hit, direct hit on the Pack 40, though it doesn't do too much damage. Pack 40 is going to have to respond back soon. Rifling their big issue there, and the Pack 40 goes down immediately. He looks like he's going to just destroy it, which is not a bad idea. Ace Panzer's moving in there, 12 kills there. Rifleman Lieutenant there dealing some damage, but they are taking the damage as well. PFC's reeling on the pain here against Zodiac. Now Grenadiers doing what they can, more Grenadiers moving in. Stug almost done. There we go, Lieutenant almost taken out here. Close one there, but does look like he will survive. Pack 40 getting hammered here. Stug almost done. Rifleman getting host. M20 moving in there. 4 kills in the Pershing so far. Keeping it close to the Pack 40 as well, which makes it harder for Zodiac just to get close to it with a Stug. But there you go, good hit from the Sturmgeschütz. Piercing the Pershing frontal armor, though it takes a hit back here. Sadly doesn't quite have the line of sight to easily shoot back at it. It's going to need some repairs there. Of course, right now Zodiac is in a very, very uncomfortable position here versus PFC, who's controlling most of the map, most of the resources, and Zodiac, who does not have any of those luxuries at the moment. Going to do some fire from the M26 Pershing. Fixing up the Panther 4, closing on Veterans 1 there. .250 half track, very close to the ace level, very nice there, very nice. Stug shoots. Not sure if it landed a hit or not. And almost good to go. Another push here for the Eastern Fuel Point. Got the machine gun backing up there with the grenadiers as well. Fifth cavalry dealing with grenadiers in the centre. In the west, we've got another 5th cavalry coming in the entire west flank. There could be right here, I think, with the Panzer grenadiers popping into the half-tech, rushing it. There might be an opportunity there to just hit it faster than they can react. And send the arm picking on to help deal with the M20. Not bad at all. Instead, catching the infantry as well. And really just leaves them screaming as they run away there. Very good. But the MD42 has to fall back. But even then, managed to stop up a large infantry assault. And maybe the major, there we go, has run out of luck. Still, Zodiac's fuel situation is not good. Another major out for PFC. Like it for more artillery. He definitely has the munitions to just keep calling in its way with the majors. So, not a bad idea at all. Panzer moving up. Mortar mode for Zodiac to provide himself with some artillery support here versus PFC and all those, or the anti-tank and there, and the machine guns, of course. That I think is a very good investment there for Zodiac. Very good, but he needs a field point and he needs more Sturmgeschütz. So there we go, Granadenwerfer out. Fun fact, the Germans designated, at least initially, a heavy mortar, and occasionally looking at some organizational charts feeling like 1944. Some notes still apparently refer to it as a heavy mortar, though it was actually being replaced as the heavy mortar by the 120mm mortar. So, a little fun fact there. Reactions are getting blasted out in the open, easy pickings. Stug landing good here on the Pershing again, closing Metzings 1. Half-Tech again just acting as a bunker, though again, I think could open up for rushing the 5th cavalry, clearing it out, and then sort of open up the west side there, forcing PFC to spread out force and deal with that one as well. Panzer there getting blasted by the Pershing. Stug moving in, and there he goes, several hits down the Sturmgeschütz 3 as from G. Stug landing a nice hit there, but it's also a bit close there. Half-Tech under bombardment by the Pershing. Stug sneaking up, there we go, another hit there, target weak point, piercing the frontal armour, smokes him down here. Ready for something to follow up with, but right now it does look like Zodiac does not have the forces there, so while it's certainly a nice distraction that might make it a bit harder for PFC to attack through, it's, I think, going to be a bit limited in overall success. Jackson on the way for PFC, Stug's going to need repairs, more pioneers in this regard would be a really great investment for Zodiac right now. Stug is also halfway to Veteran 2, which is so good. Well, it means it's closer to Veteran 3 because Veteran 2 for the Stug in most cases does not really do a lot for it, except in like some fringe cases versus medium tanks at max range and occasionally the T-34, but for the most part, Veteran 2 really doesn't do a lot for the Stug. Then he's opening the rifleman. There we go. He did use the 250 half-tech to push away, just not on the way I would have envisioned it. Which would have been at a fast rate with the Panzer appearing by, quickly hosing down the crew, stealing the machine gun and turning against PFC. Bombardment there takes out another sort of strong point there, Zodiac could have utilised it against PFC. It's only going to hurt Zodiac's defences further, make it easier for PFC to launch breakthrough assaults. Tank destroyer out, another blitz west here in the west. We got the M20 with 25 kills. Good, Panzer's done it. Well, at this point, he could actually consider switching out the M20 and the Jackson crew there. Getting himself in, quite veteran Jackson, I imagine, here versus Zodiac's armour. Another Pack 40, having apparently lost another one. The situation for Zodiac certainly remains a bit critical still, though he has had some limited successes. Versus PFC, he's starting to really sort of take behind in victory points. And he's struggling to maintain any sort of long-term gains versus PFC in the 1st Armoured Division. Mortar buying the 5th cover, they're very good. There we go. Another Pack 40 out of the Zodiac. Stug good to go. Half-Tech very, very close to the ace level. Looks like PFC might be setting up for something on the right flank. That we got one Panzer coming in to sort of maybe make its own way. Instead, it's going to block PFC's movement there. Gun is getting hammered here by the Pershing. 13 kills. Half-Tech's being shifted towards the west. Gun is machine up on the western victory point. Then we got 225. This is 307. Stug rolling back rapidly as the Pershing goes into hot pursuit, backed up with the Jackson and a lot of infantry. There you go. Pershing taking hits in the rear from the Stug and the Pack 40. Doing quite a bit of damage there. Good work by Zodiac. And the Western Move 10 there being slowly murdered out. Going to need some armor on the west flank to deal with the Pershing. Could rush in the Stug easily. Maybe also get the Panzer IV out of there. Though we obviously that's what he does. Still a lot of action here. A lot of action. I'm guessing at this point Zodiac might be trying to stall out for the Tiger tank. Strategically it is a bit risky, and that's not something I'd recommend in most cases, but I can see the logic behind it. He wants something big to really contest the Pershing, but also in theory then wants to get rid of the Pershing. Again, this sort of, make a breakthrough with the Tiger tank, try and roll up more of PFC's front line. Like a poorly knit sweater. But the question, of course, is if we can get that far. I mean, he is roughly 2 minutes away from it. That's still a rough estimate. Actually called in here by Zodiac. This time it's time to bombard PFC's position, remove his strong points. There you go, packed and Stoop landing hits. There you go, Stoop getting ready to be careful. Oh, he's blood. Trying to charge forward, straight to the bazooka, find everything there with Stoop first, which has the least health. And again, eventually 2 really is just mostly on paper, because his light armor bonus again is really only effective as his medium armor, in most cases at long range, and the rate of fire bonus basically amounts to bugger alls right there. Zodiac, I feel like, committed to I think a bit too ambitious, perhaps a bit desperate assault there versus PFC, costing him the Vetsny 2 Stug and the Panther 4. But if he's planning for the Tiger, that's definitely been delayed by now, so that was really just a cavalcade of unfortunate developments there for Zodiac. I mean, his best bet would have just been, keep playing the Stug conservatively, look for hits to build up damage, then get to Vetsny 3, which is where it gets really good with a good rate of fire and good mobility. And that way sort of really begin punishing the vehicles and tanks that are under PFC's command. But I feel like he got too greedy. He might have felt like he had a chance to take out the Pershing, decided he wanted to go for it, but again it cost him the Stug, in part because he charged in with the first, when that really should have been the Panther 4, since that can sort of absorb more hits generally. However, Stug almost, in theory, could cancel it now and just go for the Tiger tank anyways, but that's clearly not in Zodiac's cards. He's got both fuel points again. A small tactical win there for Zodiac versus PFC. But PFC is still not intending to make this even remotely easy for Zodiac. Also, he has managed to actually get back the Panther 4 there. That is actually kind of impressive there for Zodiac, and a bit lucky that PFC did manage to destroy that one, since it wasn't a pretty accessible point to just shoot at. Fixing up the 250 half tank, which is incredibly close to the ace level. PFC filling up with the Sherman tank here. 16 kills, 52 on the Pershing heavy tank. Getting 2-pack 40 piercing the Pershing's frontal armor. Stug then moving in as well. Or at least might be looking to move up in the same time as he's, gained a foothold in the west. That he's completely conceded the eastern half of the map to PFC. We've got the smoke there to push up the center. Not bad there by Zodiac. We got 118 versus 307. Another Stug here for Zodiac. So looks like the dreams of the Tiger tanks have very much been put to pass yet. Troop engaging the Pershing head on. With a few well-placed hits. We've got artillery called in here against PFC's forces. There you go, 50 caliber machine gun will soon, there you go, feel the wrath of the German artillery, or the light German artillery, the light team Frontliga and wipes out the 50 caliber crew. Very good. 250 after they're getting hit with a bit of damage. They got the Pershing and Jackson hot pursuit. Stug almost done there for Zodiac. Almost done. Jackson misses the 250 half track, but I don't think he's going to make it out of there alive. Center there, we got Lieutenant Major Graham, the Center Victor Point there. Far west, we got Raven versus Grenadiers. Raven being deployed there. Panther 4 being fixed up. More pioneers will be good investment for Zodiac. And there you got the 250 half track actually managed it. Second Stug out. Got a wipe somewhere against PFC, so that's a small win there for Zodiac. But he's still overall in a very tricky situation. Then we got 108 versus 307. Stug tied up, then will now need to be repaired if we're going to move it ahead. Push for the western victory point, the MD42 defending it fervently with some armor support. Now it's tank support. There you go. Pershing Marine getting a good hit in the Stug. and exposes their weakness in Zodiac's left point. But again, there was apparently clear not anticipating that assault from here. Smoking called in. M20 utility car charging out the MD42. Good play that smoke there to prevent the Pack 40 and the Stu from easily supporting here. Good call in there by PFC. Continues the assault here. Stu charging ahead. Need to be careful there. Center got Panzerguns are going to need to bring up with the victory points there, but they're pinned down and will not make any progress now. Grenades here being deployed or tossed out by the Persian crew. 19 kills, very close to the ace level. Stu dashing ahead here, shoots and bounces off the Persian's armor. Got the Shen with the 5th cover there ready, and Stu needs to be careful, goes too far ahead. Shot the bounces, that is pretty lucky there. Since the Stu gets overall weak armor. Again, the chance is there, but it is what I described as minimal. And there you go, gets the Sherman there. PFC got perhaps a bit too greedy. There you go, Jackson next. Almost got it here. Both Stu's are veterans in one now. Careful, don't want to throw away the Stooks now. Pershing very close to the ace level. We've got 60 versus 307. Zodiac really needs more pioneers. Because trying to repel Zama right now is going to be too slow here versus PFC when he's only got 54 points left. And none of the victory points on his command. 48 points left for the Zodiac. Panzer trying to get hit in the Pack 40, but the Pack 40 is not hit. Panzer comes there with Veteran Fleet, 13 kills. Lincoln in another Pioneer squad now, and really should. Destroying the Pack 50 caliber there. Another Panzer for Zodiac. Ooh. I mean, he's got so much damaged armor right now. I definitely feel like going for another Panzer. Even if he needs more tanks and whatnot. Like, he already struggles to repair the Stooks and the Panzer and the half track he has. I mean, adding in another Panzer he doesn't have a fully functional, armored fleet anyways, I feel is not necessarily the most efficient choice there. But we'll see. I could be proven wrong here. Continuing on, people now to tank through the American infantry as they go for another head-on assault here. No smoke this time called in. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Panzer 4 almost done. Stug more or less good to go. Halfway to 83. 2, not 3. Persian is very close to the ace level there. Second Stug being moving as well there. And there you go. Panzer 4 down. Stug gaining eventually 2. Good there for Zodiac. Stug they're about to get knocked out with the Pack 40. Got Smokesy down there from his mortar. Very good. Pioneers and Stug are too close to the enemy there. Way too close, and there goes Stug is annihilated. Bit of a tactical statement there by Zodiac. West side there, half again being used as a bunker as the machine gets cleared out instead. We got 18 versus 57. There goes Stug goes ahead here. Target weak point helps to sort of minimise the incoming fire there from PFC's armour. But there's still the Pack 40 there, firing through the smoke. Like a foghorn sounding off through a fog. Except it just arm piercing. There you go, Persian gains the ace level. Stug misses. Panzer 4 back going. There you go, we got combined arms increasing the firepower of the all nearby troops. Accuracy as well. Stug now has to deal with 2 Jackson Pass and a Pershing bolstered by that, and with that the Stug explodes. After being slowly cleared out by the lieutenant trying to get away there. We got 18 versus 305 at this point. I think it's safe to say Zodiac has lost. Half track down. And it lasted so long, but in the end, not long enough, I suppose. Combined arms almost done. Done these there. Rockman full deck again, boosted by the M20, providing that little bonus there. Flanking the Pack 40 and Tilly Alpins coming up, holding the force, but not in time to save the Grenadier squad to get utterly annihilated. And there you go. M20 there with 32 kills. Absolutely doing some ungodly work there in the Germans, and with that, GG game over. Also for Zodiac, a brutal fight there on Langraskaya. Some good play though. PFC certainly showing what the Americans are capable of. Zodiac there struggling at times. The good mine there early on was great, but he just failed, I think, to follow up at times. And I think he should have gone for more Panzer Grenadiers rather than Grenadiers. And an earlier mortar might, I think, also benefited nicely there. And there's also some issue with his armor tactics. Still, nice fight here on Langraskaya. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Pro Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all one for audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.